The desert stretched endlessly before Rango, a wasteland of forgotten battles where time itself seemed broken. The bones of creatures larger than mountains lay scattered across the ashen ground, their shadows twitching unnaturally as if still alive. Each step he took sank into the cursed sand, pulling him deeper into silence. The wind whispered fragments of voices that weren't his own, yet carried his name over and over again. Rango realized this was no ordinary desert. This was where lost versions of himself had been buried. The desert led Rango to a colossal gate of black stone, rising higher than the eye could see. It pulsed with crimson light, its carvings alive, writhing like veins under skin. The runes glowed with an ancient power, whispering in a language not meant for mortals. From the cracks between the stones, skeletal hands stretched out, grasping desperately as if begging him not to open the path. But Rango knew, beyond this gate lay the answers he had been searching for about the shadows, the whispers, and the endless war of his other selves behind the gate. Rango found a river unlike any he had seen. It was no water, it was a current of black liquid, thick and alive. Countless faces drifted upon its surface, mouths frozen in eternal screams, their eyes staring into his soul. When Rango leaned closer, the reflection that stared back wasn't his own. It was another Rango, broken, bleeding, his face twisted in rage. And then another, and another, every version he had ever been, drowning in silence. The river was a warning. To cross it meant to face the truth of who he was and who he could become. The river carried him to a hall so vast it seemed. Endless rows of statues stretched into the dark, each one carved in his likeness. Yet none were the same. Some wore crowns, some carried weapons dripping with blood. Some were twisted into monstrous forms beyond recognition. This was no memorial. This was a prison. The walls throbbed with a heartbeat that wasn't his, and the shadows moved on their own, sliding from statue to statue, whispering, tempting him to choose. Which version of Rango would he become when the final moment arrived? Among the statues, a mirror appeared. Rango saw himself, but this reflection was not still. It moved, it breathed. It smiled with a cruelty he had never known. Its eyes glowed with red fire, and in its hand was a weapon forged from pure shadow. The glass cracked, splintered, and shattered into floating shards, each one reflecting a different fate, a different death. The mirror Rango stepped out, alive, breathing, a creature of rage and hunger. And in that moment, Rango understood the greatest enemy of the multiverse was himself.